Hi everyone, this is the Dear Expats podcast. I'm here today. My name is Julia and here with me is Polina.
Yeah, hi everyone. Our fourth episode. Wow, we're so popular right now. And actually, I want to remind you that we have our website. Sorry, this is the funniest part of this process. So, remind you what we're doing here. We're reading your letters about expats' life and sharing feelings, emotions, trying to give advice sometimes. And thank you for sending us these letters. Please do it.
Yeah, you can find the email that you should write to in the description.
And on our website too.
And on our website as well, yes. And also on our website, you can find the links to all the platforms where our podcast is listed. So you can share it with your friends, share your favorite episode, share your favorite platform, and subscribe to us, write us reviews. We are very, very thankful for that.
Great, let's start. Today we have 2 letters from our listeners and 1 from us. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Hey girls, I wanted to share some of my thoughts on immigration and hear what you think about it. When I was a kid, my parents moved to different cities 4 times. As an adult, I've changed cities twice and moved to 3 different countries. Now, as I'm getting closer to an European passport, I suddenly find myself wondering, what's next? It's strange because the whole process hasn't been easy for me at all, but I'm starting to worry. What if moving has become a habit? The idea of settling down feels almost unfamiliar now. Does this sound familiar to you? Can you imagine moving again?
Oh, that's... I can connect with that one, definitely. I changed 2 countries before coming to the Netherlands. And I noticed that, I think several months ago, when I was living there a bit over a year, I was starting to get this feeling so is it? Do I stay here? Or should I maybe move to another place? And it is really frustrating because on the one hand, you want to settle down so badly and to feel that there is something secure about your life. But then once you start to get this feeling, you're starting to get this urge to just jump out of this commitment with the countries that you've just built. I don't know, have you felt that way?
Actually, no. Netherlands is my first country after my home country. I've never wanted to leave my country. I have a lot of options, actually, had a lot of options. Because part of my family live in the USA, part of my family live in Finland. One, my mom's cousin lives in Germany, one in Italy, we have a lot of relatives all over the world. And I never wanted to leave Russia and especially Moscow, my hometown. But I live here for 2.5 years in the Netherlands. And sometimes when it's rainy or if I have a bad day, I think, oh, what if I move to Portugal? It's cheaper, it's sunnier, I can go surfing. A lot of cool guys from media, some independent authors live there. I have a couple friends there, so why not? Oh, for example, Barcelona. Wow, my really close friends live there and it's cheaper and blah, 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 blah. And I think I have such dreams, but I'm so frightening from the moving. So I don't know. I don't have this habit. But it's interesting. Olga is living here for 5 years if she getting her European passport. And it's interesting because I thought that after the 3 years, when you live on the same place or in the same town, I thought you started to feeling like home. Interesting idea about moving. But also, I think this is one more point. If you got European passport, you can live wherever you want and work wherever you want. And you're not you're not tied for your work or for your partner or for your home, for your town, and that's it. So it's interesting. And do you have some country or town where you want to live?
Yeah, that's a good question actually, because as I was getting this like urge recently, I was thinking like, is there a place where I would like to go that would feel like more permanent home? And I actually have no idea, because I feel like I don't feel that way about Russia anymore. Like that this is the place where I need to come back to. And as I'm traveling recently from the Netherlands, I feel that I really want to come back. So it actually starts to feel like home here. And I'm also frightened by the idea of the moving. But then I think about like, oh, so I never tried to live in the United States, for example, because you have this, I don't know.
Have you ever been there?
No. And I really want to. And I have this idea that like it's completely different.
That's it, actually. It's true. It's really completely different.
Yeah, on the one hand, I want to experience it because like growing up on the American pop culture, yeah, Polina is showing me that I'm still a toddler in her eyes.
No, but she's growing. I show that you're growing from toddler. That's what I showed you.
Okay.
Okay, we need our video version
Yes.
now.
To show you that I'm actually rather tall. So yeah, I think about moving there, but then I can't imagine my life there. Like it would be a nice experience for a year to maybe do some study program or to have like a work type of thing. But when I think about where I want to settle, I could actually, I think, do it in the Netherlands or in Italy. I think that, strangely enough, Rome, I've never lived there, but I've been there. I think it's one of my most favorite cities in the world. And I was thinking that Paris could take its place. And I've been there recently, and I've came back with the idea that it actually can't. So yeah, I think that I know where I want to die. I don't know where I want to live.
In Rome or in Paris?
In Italy in general, yeah.
I love Italy too, actually. I think US and Italy the most visited countries, because my aunt, she lives in Los Angeles, and I visited her 100 times, I think, from my 9 years old years. I was toddler. And Italy, I love Italy too, especially north of the country. And yeah, I totally understand you. It's interesting because if something will happen with me or my career or my work, I will think where I can go, because I can't go to Russia anymore because of my work, actually. I left the country because of the war, and my work is journalism, so I kind of prohibited there. And I was thinking where I can go to spend not so many money for some, like for 2 or 3 months, to, like, to understand what can I do. And I think now it will be Armenia, because it's kind of Russian speaking country, and my boyfriend, he's not from there, actually. His dad was from there, so he got passport. So, and I think it's a great place to relax for a couple of months, to go for some beauty, and it's not so expensive, to have a bathtub, I don't know, to walk. Yeah, I think so. But I think I wish that I wouldn't move one more time. I think it was so stressful for me. I agree with you. I feel Netherlands like home right now. Not like home, but when I'm not in Netherlands, I want to go back. But I'm not sure that this is about home. Maybe this is like when you live somewhere 2.5 years, you feel it like your place. Maybe not home. Okay, it sounds a little bit sad, but we want to send congratulations to Olga to have European passport. And I hope and I wish for her not to move anymore, actually.
Yeah, I think actually that I was also, as you were speaking, I was thinking what could be the reason for that, willingness to leave the place. And I think that oftentimes it's just something that you are not happy in with your life, and you just want to change it. And switching places could seem like an easy solution, but it's also like a huge stress and commitment. So like giving advice for myself, probably if I am ever in this situation again, I would at first try to understand what I want to fix by moving, and only then like take this decision.
Let's start with another letter. name is Peter. I'm 30 years old and I'm from Moscow, where I've lived my entire life. Throughout my life, I've only left the city for at most a few weeks at a time. I moved away in 2022, and since then, I've had the chance to live in different countries. No matter where I go, I can't shake the feeling that I don't truly feel at home. Every country seems to be missing something for me. Now I find myself not only missing my hometown, but also the places where I've lived over the past years. Do you have any advice on how to feel at home and find a sense of peace?
That's quite a continuation of the previous letter.
Yes, and it's not so funny as our previous episode, actually.
Yeah, I think we have this combination of like one funny, one sad. So
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, 2022, maybe I need to mention it. A lot of people moved from Russia because of the war which started in Ukraine. So, I think this is, I don't know, this is the year when everybody moved, and that's why in this letter it's mentioned.
yeah, and back to the like topic of the letter, I also kind of find myself missing the places where I lived. For example, I missed Istanbul when I moved to Italy, and I do miss my small hometown in Italy sometimes. But what helped me is to find a more like whole life in the place where I live, because I haven't had such a inhabited apartment in a way that I have a lot of stuff that I bought for it, and I have my record collection finally delivered to me here with with the help of my parents, and I have like some social circle, so I don't feel like I would want to move back to any of those places anymore, because I wouldn't feel as at home as I am here right now if I did so. So I think that for me, for example, it was about patience and just like grounding yourself in a place where you are staying in the moment. And then you kind of might stop missing the places. But I'm not talking about Moscow, of course, where I also lived, and which is part of my home country, because I think that's something you're gonna miss forever. It's fine. But about different places, yeah, once your life in your place becomes better, for me, it's just easier to let go of the past.
I'm not sure that it can help because actually, you've talked the same story a couple episodes ago, and I was quite agree with you, but today is a different day, and I'm not sure that I agree. I think that people who left their country not as they wish or wanted that, I'm not sure that you can rebuild it like your previous life. I think that you can find a peace and you can find home. Actually, I think my aunt, I mentioned her today, she lived in Los Angeles, I think, for 25 years maybe. And she said, actually, now I feel myself like home and all this stuff. And when I was crying for 3 months and I was crying all the time, she said, don't cry, please don't cry. You need only 3 years to feel yourself better. I said, wow, 3 years. And I understand what she was talking about, because my 3 years will be in this autumn. And I'm feeling myself better and better, but it's not about home. It's just I'm feeling myself better. I think that you need to grieve for your past life. It's not like it was anymore. And maybe you need to start a new one. I don't know. Maybe like your home country is kind of feel like your first love or something. Like, I don't know. It will be with you forever, and it's okay. And this is part of you, definitely. But situation is like this. So I don't know. Actually, I think you should start with maybe therapist, because this is really big missing. And it's really important to talk about this and think about this, not to like move it from your daily life. And that's it. But also, I think that your home is where your loving people live. So maybe if you find someone who you fell in love, or if you will help your parents somehow when they got too old to live by themselves to move to your country. I think it will be great. And I think maybe when you got children's, it helps too, because now your home is around them. And maybe when you have children, you don't think about all this materials, airy materials, not about grounding.
Yeah, and you're forced to integrate more, I guess.
Definitely, my friend, she learned Dutch because her 3-year-old daughter, she was learning Dutch. She's speaking Dutch as her first language, and she wanted to understand what's going on the these playgrounds. So she speaks Dutch.
So toddlers could be pretty good teachers.
Yes, of course. So you already know that I have mice in my apartment, and I tried to switch the apartments, and it's really hard because my documents are not pretty clear for the Dutch apartment guys for the market. And yesterday I got declined from the apartment which I really, really want to live in. And this was my friend's apartment. So they're not owning it, but they were renting it for 3 years. And they recommend me. So we did everything right, and I didn't get it. And I was really upset yesterday. And of course, I'm starting to think, and if I would be in my home country, it wouldn't be the problem. And actually, I get my own apartment there. And my parents got their own apartment. And also, we had this dacha thing. This is kind of, I don't know how to translate it from English to English.
The country house?
Yeah, the country house in the great place, and life was beautiful. But it is what it is. I'm an immigrant here, and people don't want to connect with me because they don't trust me, and that's okay. It's truly biological, actually. But when I facing it, and now I'm facing it less and less, actually, because I'm almost 3 years living here, and maybe 2 more years and I can get European passport, or even can try. But yesterday I was, wow, yes, I'm an immigrant. Yes, I don't have that rights people who born here. Oh, and I didn't choose it. Yes. Oh, wow, life is shit. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I give to you, Julia, today.
I'm really sorry about you feeling this way. And I think that I definitely felt this way too. I'm pretty sure at least some of our listeners had such experiences. Yeah, it's really frustrating that you have to work twice as hard to get the things that you think you are kinda entitled to have just because you are a human being, because you work, because you behave adequately. I don't know.
Please, I have mice. I'm not alone here, so I need to find food for them too.
Exactly, yeah. But then every mundane thing that you have to do can become a challenge, like finding an apartment or opening bank accounts. I remember it was quite a struggle because you need to have all those documents that all are interdependent. And I think it's really tiresome experience. And the worst thing is being reminded of it when you have just settled. For example, I remember I was in a car accident at the end of the summer. Nothing serious, but I was riding my bike and I got hit by a car, so I hurt my back. And
it was elderly person, so don't believe them totally.
Yeah, be careful if they drive a car.
On Tesla. And he wanted to share the bill. Just remind you, and not in the cafe even, in the hospital.
So the issue is that everything, the system, it worked great. I mean, I was driven to their hospital. They took an X-ray. Everything was fine. I even managed to get a friend to get me from the hospital with the car because I had my bike and my back still hurt. But then when I started to understand how am I gonna settle the bill and that kind of situation, it became really frustrating because they sent me the ambulance bill and the first thing that I saw was 900 euros written on it. So I was panicking. But then I, of course, realized that most of it was covered by the insurance, and I only had to pay like outstanding 200 or 300, but I also didn't understand like if I should pay it or if I should ask the driver who hit me to pay it, or if it should be like settled in court. I don't know. And I was trying to call them, and they like only had Dutch speaking people on the automated like voicemail, so I would just try to hit a random button when they like, for an emergency call press 2, but in Dutch. So I was just like pressing every letter until I got to the living person and told about my situation, and they told me that that I should somehow settle it with the driver, and I also didn't know what was the procedure. So thankfully I had the Dutch friends who kind of helped me understand that in this sort of situation, like the ones who have more power or something like that, and in this case it's the person with the car, it could be a person with the bike if I was walking, they had to like pay in any case. So I just like sent the ticket to the driver. But I could imagine that, for example, if I hadn't had friends and I was too worried about, I don't know, getting problems with the police, because what if I was wrong in this situation? And I always expect that, I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah, I totally understand you. And, I think I'm from Moscow, originally from Moscow, and I think people from all over the country and from countries by Russia, it's Belarus and Ukraine, and a lot of these post-Soviet countries who are okay with the Russian language, they move to the big city because it's the biggest city. To compare, in Moscow live the same quantity of people that lives in the whole Netherlands, so it's giant city. And if you live in your hometown, like for a long time, and it's big center of migration, you understand that you're kind of afraid of ghettos, like, oh, immigrants, they live all together, it's really strange, they use their language, their everything. And now I understand why. It's really comfortable to live in your bubble, to find your, I don't know, like Russian-speaking doctor, somebody Russian-speaking from police, somebody Russian-speaking from, I don't know, from the tax office or something. And I totally understand that it's not okay to live in ghettos. It's not okay to live in the bubble because you're just slowing down your participation in the Dutch life. But in these cases, I'm so sad and I'm so not embarrassed of my like journey in my life, but I'm so sad. I don't want to take this part of this life. And I thought, okay, I think I need this, I don't know, like rental manager who can help me to find the apartment for myself. And said, oh, maybe I need to find someone Russian speaking. I said, wow, funny, but like for what? What can she do better? This is like about ghettos. This is what you're starting to build around yourself because you're feeling yourself really, really insecure.
Yeah, and I think that's very familiar for me, that like urge to have a sense of belonging some way. And in many cases that would be the people with the same migration background from the same countries. But I think maybe we can also try to find the communities with which we connect on other criteria, like for me, it was like university group at some level. Yeah, I don't know. That also could be helpful because
no, but that's it actually. University or work. But I'm working in Russian-speaking company, so yeah, that's it. I'm 31. I don't think that I can go for some crafting for everyone or something like that. For example, I was walking a couple days ago for Action. Action, this is giant stores of cheap everything. So I wanted to buy a new mopper, I don't know how to name it. So something to clean the floor. And I was walking, not like on my street, but I was walking on the next street. And I found a beautiful pottery studio. And I thought, wow. And every spring I'm trying to paint something or build something. This is like my thing, but I'm very, very, very bad at it. So I thought, oh, it could be nice. It's not far from home. And maybe I can call one of my friends to do this together. It's so good experience. And maybe I can find some other women from these streets and all this stuff. 650 euros for the like free lessons course.
600.
Who are earning that money to make a stupid vase. It's impossible. I said, okay, maybe they have their master class. It was about like 150 or something too. I don't want to spend 150 to meet some housewife from the next street. 150? Are you crazy?
No, yeah, that's a lot. Maybe you should start pottery school yourself.
No, please no. I'm so tired. I can make only, I don't know, this reality show which we're talking about with mice, House of Mice, when mice are trying to kill each other and have all the power.
Yeah, but like mice inhabited apartments community sounds like a very strong bond.
Yes, but my neighbor, they're so young girls, love techno and all this stuff, and I'm too boring for them already.
Paulina, you are 30. You are sounding like you are like 50 plus.
But they like sharing their apartments and go to the raves. Come on, what can we talk about? I can invite them to the pottery studio, okay? For 150 euros lesson.
Okay, we'll find you first a new realtor, and then we'll find you the neighborhood with elderly people. And
I don't need your elderly people. They hit you by the car.
Okay, older people than students.
Okay.
And you will, I don't know, share your interests.
Our old interests, like pottery studio. Okay.
I wanted to say interest in toddlers.
Okay, so I think this is a good ending of this episode. It was the fourth episode of Dear Experts podcast. My name is Paulina. And Julia is still laughing. So please subscribe us, give us some 5-star rates, and share this episode. Thank you. And don't forget, now we have our website.